So somebody sent me a video of this Caribbean lady that was talking about how they're starting the FBC, Foundational Black Caribbeans, and because they're foundational to the Caribbean and they're native to the Caribbean and they were victims of slavery and all that stuff. You know what? Y'all got to stop taking these L's because y'all are just giving people more and more reason to call you a tether.
OGTV 45 tapping in. Now, apparently, this is a thing now. Foundational Black Caribbeans. So I'm going to address this two different ways. I'm going to address this as if they're serious and they really want to stick with this and run with this, and this is something they think they came up with. Or if this is some type of parody and they're only really doing this to make fun of the name Foundational Black Americans. I'm going to address this both ways.
Hey, have you heard of the Foundational Black Caribbean? Oh, so yeah, they refer to themselves as the FBC. They're proud descendants of enslaved African who were brought to the Caribbean through the transatlantic slave trade. So they have a lineages and culture that's deeply rooted in the Caribbeans. So it was founded by a couple brothers and sisters from IET and Jamaica. Yeah, that's what I said. IET and Jamaica. So it was founded right here on TikTok. One night, a couple of Zoe and Jamaicans was like, yeah. So they don't consider us a part of the Black History movement. So yeah, we want to become FBC. So yeah, if you're a part of this movement, just drop your flag right here. This is only for Caribbean people. Yes, that's what I said. This is only for Caribbean people. Because when they go low, we go high.
If they're indeed serious about this, what can we say besides, well, y'all always been copycatting us. So the highest form of flattery is, to imitate somebody. So I'm not even going to take offense to that. But I will run a list of these songs here that you guys covered. Just stop for a second and look at some of the songs on that list. One in a Million by Larry Graham. That is a black classic. These niggas done went down there and sung it over in Jamaican with a reggae beat behind it. All My Life, Casey and Joe, are you serious? They copied the whole song over. They have been copycatting us for a long time. When I was in high school, Jamaicans in particular had a very unique way of dressing. They were easily identified by the way they dress. I'm not going to say they had a uniform, but it was close to it. The fur Kangos, the travel fox, that red and yellow and green belt they all used to wear. The fishnet wife beater. They had a very unique style. And I'm not going to even sit here and clown. When I was young in the 80s, I respected the Jamaican style of dressing. It was unique. It was their culture. You can easily identify them. That was a Jamaican look. Okay, them the Jamaicans. That's cool. No beef. Now, I can't tell most Jamaicans. I have to wait to hear them talk. And some of them, that don't even work. That did not come from us copycatting them. When you cover a song, that means that's outright plagiarism. You done sung somebody's song word for word. Now, EPMD might have sampled I Shot the Sheriff from Bob Marley, whatever, but that's a sample. Whenever we use snippets and tidbits of y'all music, that's one thing. But I don't know of any point in time when American artists have outright just copycatted y'all to that extent. It's outrageous. Some of these songs weren't even like the biggest song over here, and y'all still copycatted it. But that's if that's your true intentions to copycat. It's like, okay, I see that's your nature. If it's not, if this is some type of parody and y'all just want to attack the name FBA, I'm so proud of the fact that I've openly said before, I could care less about what the name is. I'm not married to the name FBA. If the majority of the people tomorrow said, yo, we're going to change our name to Wooty Bamboo, we don't care, bro. See, that's the gaslight and that's the smokescreen. Y'all want to attack FBA. Y'all want to attack Tariq Nasheed, but nobody wants to attack these numbers right here. Nobody wants to admit the fact that it's all about these numbers right here. Y'all want to make it about the xenophobic group when majority of FBA people, myself specifically, who've made disparaging videos about anybody else were done in retaliation. It was done after all of the negative videos came out. After I scrolled through TikToks for weeks, listen to people spew out things about Black Americans. Then I started clapping back, and it turned into FBA is a hate group. You spewing hate, you this, that. Bro, I listened to this stuff for weeks before I even responded. Take my voice out the equation, and I can still put 50 TikToks and 10, 20 different YouTube videos up there where they're saying negative things about Black Americans. And nobody got a right to tell me to ignore that, don't pay that no attention. If you even had that thought, you a sucker. Your daddy bust out a sucker. If this is indeed parody, I am not married to the name FBA. I am married to these numbers right here. I have always spoken from a political perspective on this. It has never been personal. All the anger and hate came from the other side of the diaspora. We said we have to separate for political reasons. Y'all can no longer represent us politically. And these numbers right here show why. Out of the 42.9% Black Americans that are here, only 8.1 are immigrants or descendants of immigrants. How is 8.1 going to make a decision for almost 35 million? And it's not even a total 8.1. Within that 8.1, you got your little bit of Nigerians, your little bit of Jamaicans, your little bit of Haitians. If you want to contest anything I'm saying, these numbers are coming from the Pew Research Center. Go look it up yourself. I said 8 million Black immigrants, right? We got to break this down in countries so y'all can really see the effects of what I'm saying. Out of all of the Black immigrants here, with the highest population, you're looking at Jamaicans, then Nigerians, then Haitians. And out of all those three countries, not one of y'all got 1 million people here, not legally, or right around 1 million. Last was in 2022, it was around 700,000 was the most that any one of those three countries had in America. Now, how can someone from a group of 700,000 people make decisions for a group of 35 million people who have a completely different experience in this country than they do? Some of y'all haven't even gotten y'all nigga wake-up call yet in America. Some of y'all don't even know police brutality exists in America. Some of y'all don't even know police plant drugs on people in America. Y'all don't know that exists. Some of y'all don't even know how many people the state of Texas has executed that were actually innocent. Some of y'all don't know about any of these things. Y'all haven't had y'all nigga wake-up call yet. Everything is peachy keen. The system's done well by you. You've done well by the system. So far, no bumps in the road. You can't speak for us. We have hit every bump in every road. And it is 35 million of us. Every last one of you little ass countries that's over here, Nigeria, Jamaica, Haiti, everybody. It's not even 1 million of you, man. This is not to insult. This is not to belittle nobody. This is not to start no war. This is to talk common sense. We said we want to delineate from y'all politically so none of y'all can make decisions for us because y'all are different. Y'all have a different experience in America than we do as immigrants. In comparison to people who have been here for all of those generations, it's a different experience. It's a different level of historical knowledge. Your historical knowledge is secondhand. A lot of us, when it comes to history on this country, we're talking about oral tradition passed down through our families. For some reason or another, a lot of Black immigrants think that we don't know our ancestors, our families. That's a myth. Majority of us know at least both grandparents or great grandparent or something. No, met. Less of us don't know their father's family than you all think. A lot of us know our families. However many of y'all, 1,000,000, 2,000,000, whatever it is, nobody can't have more than 3. It's only 8 tops. So somebody from a background of give it 2,000,000 Nigerians can't speak for 35 million Black Americans. The 2,000,000 can't speak for the 35 million. That's common sense, not logical politics. Different backgrounds, different cultures, different struggles. They can't speak for them, bro. Different ideals, different principles, different views on the government. Somebody who's been here for a generation or 2 generations doesn't have the same views on the government as somebody who's been here for 9, 14, 15, 20 generations. It doesn't work like that. And y'all talking about everything except these issues. They spreading all these propaganda lies. FBAs say that they don't got no African in them. They don't come from Africa. All FBAs don't say that. That's a lie. You say that to avoid looking at these numbers right here. Why the hell should any one of those immigrant groups represent another 35 million people that they have nothing to do with historically, and conversations like reparations are in play? Like, really make it make sense from an adult political perspective. Take all y'all emotions out. Take all the attacking videos out. Since that's what y'all want to keep it stuck on, just so y'all don't got to talk about these numbers right here. All y'all so-called smart guys are talking about everything except these numbers right here would make all the sense in the world for Black Americans to delineate. But y'all rather make it an FBA conversation. Y'all could attack Tariq Nasheed that way. Y'all could put FBA together as a group, make them a monolith, say they're all saying this, they're all doing that. And y'all don't got to worry about these numbers right here. Everything is about these numbers right here. From the time I've been talking this FBA stuff, I said it started with Barack Obama. He diddy bopped his ass up on the stage like he was a nigga. Then come to find out we do some nigga, he don't got no history, no connection to Black America. He has a Kenyan daddy. He's raised out the country and in Hawaii with some white people. What the hell does he know about a Black man's struggle? What the hell does he know about police brutality? What the hell does he know about the lights going off? What the hell does he know about the car being repossessed? What the hell does he know about anything that Black people have to struggle with and deal with here in America? Absolutely nothing. He's not from our background. He doesn't get to speak for us. Period. That's why he did absolutely nothing for us. So we identified that. And then we started seeing it popping up more and more in different places. Black faces, not tied to this nation. Immigrant background, not doing anything on our behalf. Why none of y'all FBA haters want to have this conversation? Y'all want to talk about all the sideways, childish bullshit, but nobody want to have this conversation about these numbers right here. We said separate for politics, and any one of y'all niggas from a country where 700,000 people y'all here think y'all got a right to speak for 35 million people. That shows who's really insane here, who's really bugged out, who's really slow. Common sense will tell you don't got a right. You don't got a right. That Jamaican broad, Yvette Clark, she should know she don't got a right. She know how many Jamaicans is in this country. She knows she got a different background than the other 35 million Black people. Why is she speaking for us? That's not right. That's not right. We need someone from our background to speak for us. That's politics 101. Not your skin color. Not your skin color. Whites and Jews don't have this issue. They know how to separate themselves. They know their skin is both white, but one is Jews and one is white. And they allocate their funds separately. Like, why y'all can't understand that? We're not saying that you shouldn't have a voice in this country politically either. But it should be for your people, your community, your group. The Black immigrants. Y'all American experience is different than ours, man. Y'all made this about xenophobia. Y'all made this about hate. Y'all made this about all these other things to avoid this talk about politics. That going by the numbers, none of you have the right to be speaking for us. None of you have the right. It's okay to have different cultures. It's okay to recognize our unique ethnicities within the so-called diaspora. I don't see Nigerians fighting Ethiopians to be Nigerian. A Nigerian could respect the Ethiopian as a Nigerian. There's no quarrel there. So I can respect your culture, and y'all culture could collectively politic for y'all culture. But y'all culture is not my culture here. The things y'all prioritize, we don't prioritize. Like you guys really prioritize education. A lot of us caught on to the student loan hustle and started telling our sons that 2 years in trade school, 2 years apprenticeship on a job, them 4 years you would have been coming out of college owing a student loan, you could be starting your own business with a certificate, 2 years apprenticeship, and you started out your own pocket and don't even need to take a loan out from the bank. See, this is why we are surpassing y'all financially. Y'all accumulating all these degrees talking about how we're not there. You're not looking at like our most gifted athletes. They go to college, one and done. 2 years, 3 years, done. A lot of them boys don't go back and get no degree. Some of them go to the NBA or NFL, take their 30, 40, 50, 100 million, whatever it is, and go on about their business. They went there to get a job. They got it. There's a lot y'all don't factor into that equation when you get to adding up them degrees and using it to place yourself up on this pedestal. It's just not realistic. It doesn't make you smart enough to think for a group of people that have a historical knowledge about this country that you don't, not a first-hand account. You have a textbook account from the same people you'll call oppressors and white supremacists and Babylon and everything else when you don't like them, but when they give you our history, you quote their books. We tell you what our grandmamas told us, you tell us that's hogwash. Make it make sense. You got so many of these fake-ass African Americans who want to dick ride Africa in these other countries so bad that they won't keep it 100. When you ask them what's FBA, the first thing they say, oh, FBA is black people who say they're not African. That's cap, bro. FBA is black people who said they want to delineate from these other black immigrant groups politically. Y'all taking all these other FBAs people personal opinions and feelings. It's millions of us. You're going to hear a million different things fly out of a million different FBA people's mouth. But FBA is a lineage. It's a lineage. You can look at white people and say, oh, some white people say this, some white people say that. But when an FBA person says something, you stick it on us as if we're a group, and everybody keeps saying it's not a group. Nope. It's just a name that we can use for political purposes so people who are African immigrants can't say, I'm FBA too. Because a lot of them want to say they're African American, knowing that that's what we go by, instead of using their country. They don't want to run with Nigerian American, Senegalese American, Ghanaian American. No, they want to say they're African American because they want some of whatever we getting. That's their intention, to get some of whatever we getting. And we say that's being dirty and greedy. Get your own and we get our own. That's all we saying. And all the hate came from y'all. Black people don't have a culture. Puerto Ricans and Jamaicans created hip hop. All the other insults and stuff that we've been debating online, they came from y'all. That's responses, reactions and responses. But nobody want to talk about these numbers right here. We said we have to delineate for the sake of politics. We can have a brotherhood after that. You just can't vote on my behalf. Because it's only one of y'all out of every 5 of us. One don't get to vote for the other 4. It don't work like that. The 4 can vote for the 1. You got to get in line. We don't got to get in line. So stop lying and making this about all these other issues that you feel y'all got good talking points and arguing points from. Because when we keep it about the real issue, which is them numbers right there, y'all ain't got shit to say. But if you ask my honest opinion, I'd say they were attempting to mock us because they're stuck on the name FBA and they don't understand that we have the strongest talking point in the whole argument, and that's what FBA is all about. The one talking point that they're all afraid to touch. Want to make it xenophobia. They want to make it about the back and forth TikToks, the clowning each other, the roasting. They want to make it about all of that. Who got called an African booty scratcher in the 3rd grade? But they don't want to talk about the real issue and the real purpose of Black Americans calling themselves FBA, which they could really call themselves anything. I don't care if they called us non-immigrant blacks and put a cap on it. You had to be here for at least 5 generations to call yourself a non-immigrant black. I could run with that name. I don't have to be FBA. That's the part y'all missing. It's any name that you can't sneak under. That's all we want, is a name you can't sneak under. It doesn't have to be FBA. You didn't win. That's not a checkmate for my foundational Black Americans who may have grown up in a town or a city where there wasn't a lot of Caribbeans. I'm going to let y'all in on a little something, okay? Like the Africans are still scarred mentally and traumatized about being called African booty scratchers. Oh, the Caribbeans got a word too that drives them crazy. Absolutely. And I think that 48% of them who feel as though blacks are not entitled to reparations for slavery, I think we should be allowed to call that 48% of them that derogatory term that runs Caribbeans up the wall. You know what that is? Coconuts. They hate when you call them a coconut. That's the word. Coconuts. Coconut. Like I said, I react. You clap at me, I'm gonna clap back. I got what you call an infinity clip. I mean, I got around for everybody.